My name is Matt Paprocki. I'm the founder of the Center for Poverty Solutions, a project created from the Illinois Policy Institute where I serve as president and CEO. Today in my testimony, I want to demonstrate why work is the best pathway out of poverty and to give people dignity. And I want to end by giving 3 solutions that this committee can do to enact that. But first, let me give you some background. The Center for Poverty Solutions was created to look at the research behind what are the biggest drivers to eradicate poverty. And we work with direct service agencies, partner together, and we pass bipartisan legislation to reduce poverty and increase opportunities. Our goal is to eliminate poverty starting here in the city of Chicago. And I have good news. We have one single factor that can reduce poverty by 87%. It's work. In fact, those people who are working a full-time job, only 2% of them are currently in poverty. Take, for example, my friend Stephen Blake. Stephen was a homeless veteran. But thanks to this place here, Pacific Garden Mission, he was given shelter and job training. Today, Stephen is an entrepreneur who sells fresh fruits to commuters on their way to work. 2 months ago, I walked by Stephen on this cold, freezing day. It's raining outside. And I saw Stephen there. I said, "Stephen, what are you doing out here today?" And Stephen points to a man a few feet away from us, and he's holding a sign, and the cardboard sign says, "Please help." And he said, "Matt, that used to be me." He said, "I stood out here every single day, and every person who walked by, I would ask them, 'How can you help me?'" He said, "Today I do the opposite. Every single person who walks by, I say, 'How can I help you?'" A huge smile comes across his face. He said, "Matt, I gotta be out here. People need me." That's dignity. That's a dignity that's enshrined in our Constitution in the phrase, "in the pursuit of happiness." That's a dignity that lifts people closer to the image and the likeness of God. That is a dignity that lifts people out of mental illness, out of abuse, and out of dependency. Quite frankly, this is what's missing in our society today, a society which often tells people, you can't do it. Because poverty today is less about food and housing insecurity, and it's becoming more about hopelessness, independence. Meaningful work can solve all of these problems. I know, because I've lived it. When I was 24 years old, I was a professional staffer, and I got a call from my mom. She said, "Matt, I'm at the hospital, and I've just been diagnosed with cancer." So I left the job that I loved because my mom needed me. And for the next 8 months, I stayed at home with her. And one cold December day, she died in my arms. And I lost my purpose. I had no job. I had no money. I had no parents. Nobody needed me. For the next few months, I qualified for just about every welfare benefit there was, and I thank God that I never took them. Because for too many Americans, welfare is not a temporary safety net, it's a snare net. And generations get stuck inside of this. In fact, a Pew study shows that 70% of people who are currently on government assistance will never escape. And that extends to their children and their grandchildren. My escape from poverty was the same as Stephen's and millions of others. We found a job. More importantly, we found dignity in work. And from there, we built our families. We became more active in our community. We volunteered. We can help millions of Americans lift them up out of poverty and bring them closer to that dignity of work. And this committee here can do 3 things to help drive that home. The first is stop the benefits cliff. Right now, we've created this impossible structure where families are forced with the decision of either cut back on their hours or don't take a promotion or receive additional government funding. We are stopping that, and we need to change the benefits cliff. The second is expand tax credits for apprenticeships. The average apprenticeship starting salary is $77,000 a year. And finally, institute work requirements similar to the successful bipartisan reform that was passed in 1996, which lifted millions of people out of poverty. Today, I ask all of you to create a better America. An America which tells all people we need you. An America that creates limitless opportunities. an America that allows all people to pursue happiness. And that pursuit begins with the dignity of work.